Okay, what the hell is this? I mean, I love Leatherman. I've been using their multi-tools for years, but these sheets are just terrible. It's so bad, in fact, I'm so disappointed, so annoyed that I created this whole YouTube channel just to explore building my own. I mean, look at it. The reason I need two is in one I keep my Leatherman wave, and in the other one a small pen and the light. But look how bad they are. They are different color, different shape. This one is longer and has a round edge. This one is shorter and has a straight edge. And on the back, this extra piece of leather where you put your belt through, it's different size, different shape and different thickness. Look at all of this unnecessary extra room. When it's on your belt, it makes it really hard to close, because naturally you wanna close it all the way. But no, you have to take it up. It's really annoying. And this one started to break at the seams the day I bought it. And it doesn't really feel like a nice quality piece of leather. So I bought some leather, I bought some tools, and let's learn how to do it yourself. First we need to cut it down to size, but because I've never worked with leather before, let me practice on this piece. Let's try just a simple straight cut, just to see how it feels. It's really easy to cut through. You really don't need a lot of pressure. It feels really good. Okay, so to get to this shape, we need 262 millimeters this way and 52 this way. I will mark it using one of these. It's used to make stitching holes, but it should be pretty good at just marking stuff out. And now to cut it. We can deal with these little imperfections later. Now let me do the other side. There we go. So this should be enough to make this, I think. Not sure now that I look at it. Yeah, should be fine. It should be fine. So the next thing we need is this back piece, because we have to stitch it in before we fold it. 25. There we go. So that will go here. To make it look a bit better, I want to round this out. So I found just a round piece of glass and I'll try to cut around it, but I've never done that before, so let's try that on a scrap piece of leather. Go slow and steady, there's no rush. Okay, I like that. Let's make this the top. So this one will go this way. Okay. And this side I want to go the opposite way, so let's do it like this. There we go. Nice. I think that's all the cutting we have to do. So now the next thing is to stitch this up. So I'm trying to see where to exactly put this by taking my multi-tool, wrapping it like I think it will go eventually. And seeing, I don't know, about there, I guess. So let's mark it just really softly. I don't want to really damage the leather too much. Yeah, I can just about see it. Now this is a cool tool. It puts a tiny little groove in leather to hide your stitches in. And by moving this, you decide how far from the edge it should go. It should be pretty easy to use. Let's try it. And of course try it on a scrap piece first. So this goes to the edge, which should keep us nice and straight. Let's try to dig in. Huh, yeah, look at that. That's really cool. Okay, let's try. No, it only has one cutting side. Okay, okay. Yeah, I feel like this works a lot better. Just a tiny little bit of pressure to to dig in a little bit. And do it on both sides. So I use this little guy to mark my cutting lines, but it usually comes in a pack like this, and these are used to cut your stitching holes. We will use this one, the biggest one, because it fits perfectly the size of this. Maybe it's even a little bit too big. Yeah, it's too big. We will take the next one. Yeah, this should be perfect. Let's put it like this, and we will just hit it with a hammer to go through. Every tutorial I've seen online said not to use steel hammers to prevent damage on these tools, so we'll just use a cheap plastic one. We just have to line this up real nice, put it in the groove, and strike. And to make the next hole, we will use 3 out of 4 of the holes we drilled already, just to make sure everything is in line and the same distance from one another. So, because when I glue and stitch this to this, I won't be able to take care of these edges, so let's do it now. First of all, we will just use some good old sandpaper. This is just 320 grit regular paper. So not a lot of pressure at all. Just slide it on top. Now this is just a piece of wood, and you put your leather in whichever groove fits it the best. And if we use a little bit of water to wet the surface, and we create some friction by doing this, the edge should get really nice and shiny. And yeah, I believe it is. Okay, there it is. It's not perfect, but it's not supposed to be. This is just learning experience. First time trying something, and it's really fun actually. Exploring a new skill, filing it down and making it nice and shiny is really fun. So I will now do it on this whole piece. So next we have to glue and stitch those together. Let's apply a bit of glue. Spread it out. Make sure it's nice and straight, and we will let this sit. It's been a couple of minutes, now let's stitch it. We will use waxed string, or however you call it. Cut a nice piece of string and put a needle on each end of it, like so. Now this is a little tricky because I don't have a stitching pony. It's basically just a piece of wood or whatever to hold your leather in place while you stitch it. But this is a beginner friendly project, so let's try to do it like this. Go through the second hole first, and we will come back to the first hole. Let's now go back to the first one, the outermost. I mean, I guess you could do this with just one needle, but it's supposed to be quicker and easier this way. I'm not sure. Once you've gone that way, we will go with the other needle the opposite way. So now we have this. Because we went to the second hole, then back to the first, and now we will go this way. This first stitch will be double, which should make it stronger. Okay, so now you should just cut this thread and light it with a lighter, just a couple of millimeters, and light it and smoosh it down. Okay, so now we want to fold this over and glue this, but if I remember correctly, they said it's better to do hard folds like this when the leather is wet. So let's do that. Oh dude, is this too much water? I don't really know what I'm doing. I don't know, let's try it. So it should come up to something like this. and I've seen people do this. We will apply glue all the way on both sides and try to glue it. And to be honest, I feel like glue is just temporary, cause if you do stitching well enough, it should be more than enough to hold it together. Now let's give it a minute to set. Let's mark a guideline for stitching holes. To stitch it, we will use the same technique as we did on the back. So we will start from the second hole, come back one, and then go all the way up. So my battery just died and deleted the footage cause I'm a noob. I shot dozens of music videos but never something like this, so I'm sorry. It was a pretty important step. We added the snap. It's now completely functional. It's basically done. The only thing left is to paint it. But the problem is I feel it's way too tight. I don't know, I don't think it will ever be able to hold this. I think you should be able to shape it really well when it's wet, so maybe we should try that, because this is way too tight to hold any tools. Yeah, it barely fits half of it. But when it dries out, it kinda holds the shape, so that gives me hope. Maybe we'll be able to do it. So basically nothing worked. It's still way too small, way too thin. I cannot stretch it enough to hold a multi-tool. Yeah, it holds it like this maybe. But this will stay, you know, as a reminder, as a first try, as a prop. But it's time to try again. Let's cut it to wider, longer, bigger piece and try again. Never give up. So here's my new piece of leather, and I will cut it longer and wider, and I don't know, a centimeter extra should be enough, so like 6.5. So like this. Let's measure it, cut it quickly. Here's all the pieces cut out. As you can see, it's a lot wider, longer, new belt loop. Let's just get into it. First things first, glue and sew this in. So even though I failed the first time, this is still a really fun project to do. Leather is a beautiful material to work with. It looks really cool, it smells nice, it's naturally cured veg tan leather. It's really fun to learn how to work with it. Really cool project. Let me stitch it up so you don't have to sit through that again, and I'll be back. At least now I can show you how to install snap button things. Let's find a center about there. We will put this under and punch it out using this tool. Get this little guy from the underneath. This one goes across, and now to secure it, you just press this head in there and smack it with a hammer a couple of times so it expands and it binds them together. And if it stays like this, and if it doesn't budge, it's set. On my first attempt I sanded it down before I glued it together, but I think this way is better because now those two parts are together. I can sand it and make it flush, look it like one piece. Let's try it. Okay, it's getting there. The front piece is a bit longer or wider than the back, so it's not really flush, but I think we can get there with just sandpaper. And as you can hear, my desk is terrible, so I'll have to build myself a nice workbench, but that's for another video. Okay, this side wasn't as bad, so that's pretty much it. Now we have to figure out where to put the other part of the snap mechanism. So let's put you in your new home and see. That was probably my biggest problem with the original Leatherman one, because it was kind of like this. It had too much spare room for no good reason, so I want it to be like this. I'm trying to push it down to kind of mark it. I don't know. Yeah, I see a mark. Let me grab this and put it right here and just punch it out. There we go. We have our hole. We need this and this. This one goes from the outside and this one goes here. And again, just put some pressure using this tool, punch it a couple of times with a hammer, and we should be done. And there we go, it's done. It snaps really nice and it holds pretty well. Let's try it with my Leatherman in. Is it a bit too tight? Probably. Nah, it's perfect. Okay, I'm really happy with this. It's so close to being done. If I mess this up now, I'm gonna be so sad. So let's make sure we do this correctly. Yeah, this is much better. Maybe smooth it out with a nice little bit of sanding. I mean, I swear, I hate sanding, but it really does help. And you know what I just realized? We did all of this without a single drop of water. So yeah, maybe it's not really that needed. Not sure, let me know in the comments. Now let's use that magical wooden thing. You create enough friction to kind of burn it, and that makes a really nice polished surface. I don't want it too dark, I just want a nice bit of brown, so let's see what we can get with this one. What if I did this? Nope. You see? That's why we do the testing. Okay. So, I mean, this is pretty bad. This is not a correct tool to do this, but it's the only thing I have right now. Okay. Let's test the other one I have. This one should be a bit darker brown. Oh, it's completely different. Let's try this. And then go back over it with this lighter one. I don't know, I'm just playing around, I'm just experimenting. Let's try it with this. Maybe it's actually even easier with this after all. Let's start with the back. Well, there's no going back now. There's a potential to make it really cool, and if it turns out ugly, doesn't really matter too much because I'm the one who's gonna be wearing this and using this, so yeah, what can you do? Yeah, it's totally a different shade, but I think it looks good. This could be nice. It kind of makes it look like wood, like grain and imperfection, and I do like it. Is this too much? Possibly. Well, let's get back to this one. Should we call it done? I mean, it's kind of hard to know when to say that's it. But that's kind of the beauty of it. Okay. This was our first attempt where I made a... Well, basically all the mistakes I could make, I made on this, including the dimensions. It's way too small, but you know, it was a really good learning opportunity. And we ended up here. I had to let it dry and soak in the dye. But I can't wait to put it on my belt and actually use it. So there we go, new skill unlocked. It was really fun, it was interesting, it was kinda difficult at times to start from something really disappointing and annoying, and to turn it into something really beautiful and something you can be proud of and you can wear for years. It's a new skill, it's a new step to becoming self-sufficient. I will never have to buy it again. I can make my own now, and that's crazy, that's the most important part. It's not the prettiest thing in the world, it's not the highest quality, but it's mine. Considering today was the first day I ever built anything out of leather, I'm satisfied with the result, and you know, practice makes perfect, so if you want to join me on that journey, feel free to subscribe, and remember kids, if you want something done right, you have to do it yourself.